Opening sections: Resurrecting the Insanely Humane Unviolent Warrior in You. Fast. A personal daily trainer to master 95 characteristics of the pre-1970s potent activists. Fast. A series of essays written on Death Fast by Start Loving. June 10th, 2012. All rights reserved. Notice, this book is provided to my human family, born and to be born, at no charge. Read it, take it to heart. Share with any and all whom you respect. Use it daily. Hurry. Other forms of this book can be found by Googling the title. A video form can be found on YouTube. An easy download version or reading online version at SCRIBD Scribed. Note, INSHE, I-N-S-H-E, Insanely Humane. Comment on Loving's Unviolent Action at the Canadian Embassy. From Lester Brown, Earth Policy Institute, Plan B 3.0 author. Washington, D.C. on Connecticut Avenue. May 30th, 2012. Fasting is an historically valuable way to draw attention to a cause. Religious and national leaders have either fasted or called on their nations to fast and pray for healing, such as Mahatma Gandhi and President Abraham Lincoln. Women fasted for the right to vote. Start Loving's hunger strike is drawing attention to our need to shift from environmentally destructive fossil fuels, in particular tar sands in Canada, to clean renewable energy. We at the Earth Policy Institute admire his courageous effort. June 14th, 2012. We would like you to know that while we appreciate the courage it takes to do a hunger fast, we also want you to know that we fully believe that you would be more effective alive. The tar sands issue and the need for the world to move to a Plan B economy are global issues and require a global response. We believe that your knowledge and understanding would be put to better use if you were alive and keeping these issues front and center. So while we respect your courage, we really do not support fasting to your death. June 15th, 2012. We do not believe his death fast will accomplish anything useful. Lester Brown, Earth Policy Institute. Comments from others in the global warming leadership on the left. Only a cult would call people to die to stop global warming. This will damage the integrity of the environmental movement. This is not the right time. You would be more effective alive. Few know as much as you do. Your voice is needed here, now. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. paraphrase with license taken, and other notable quotations. My problem is not the violent racists. My problem is the good people that say, oh, the cause is so just, but your actions are too harsh, too fast, too uncomfortable, too soon, won't do any good, will hurt the image of the, quote, movement, unquote. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a paraphrase with license taken. Example is not the major thing in influencing people. It is the only thing. Albert Schweitzer. The greatest threat to humanity is the deniers on the left, pathologically denying their human duty to put their bodies in the way to shield the innocents. Start Loving. Give me a military man to fight alongside any day. Don't give me any cowards. Gandhi. Loving, don't die attempting to give your life Loving, don't die attempting to give life to 200 billion. Huh? I am what I am because of this and prior versions of personal trainers. Friends, forgive me for not being smart enough to figure out what you need to know. My limitations are such that I'm only just smart enough, able enough, to have figured out each day what I, loving, need to know, and to do to become what the world needs of me. I learned to ski largely in the summertime, lying in my bed at night till all hours, doing run after run after run in my head and body, feeling the errors, feeling my shortcomings, and figuring out what I was inadequate in, and plugging those holes, reshaping myself turn by turn, fall by fall, crash by crash. About 18 years ago, one unlike me, born and raised in the Rockies, ski country, you're the best skier I've ever seen. Since I finally learned that joy is not on the ski hill, but in being what our globally need us to be, that's where I've devoted myself, to become that. And I've refined the process and developed tools, centrally this personal trainer, to vastly accelerate and improve my learning, reshaping my becoming process. This version is an enhancement of what's been my daily or many times a day companion, my personal trainer. Who this book is not for. Anyone, everyone that literally can live with, stand, coexist even one day more with the status quo. The faint of heart. Those who are satisfied with themselves. Yes, make no mistake. If you are what you need to be in the world, this book is not for you. This book is for the wannabe Everest climber. That ain't nearly the answer to that call yet. Like I've not been the answer most of my years, really, till finally 8 weeks ago now. It's not for academics or liberal intellectuals, the 99.999% of them that believe that, quote, I know, therefore I am, unquote. Who this book is for. Everyone that literally can't live with, stand, coexist even one more day with the status quo. Those literally dying, totally giving their life, responding to the call to give their lives, all that they have, all that they are, enduring any personal price, any pain it takes, any work required, to become what the world needs them to be, to help the world return to what it needs to be. Now, this book is your personal trainer. Will you use it, as I have, to become, with daily practice, finally, what the world needs you to be? The hope and inspiration to complete this book, indeed, is some of those that I have come to know in Occupy DC, Occupy Santa Cruz. However, this book, though it has some focus on friends at Occupy, this book is for everyone, yearning with every atom to become the insanely humane warrior, Inchi warrior, a potent activist now, regardless of what it takes, what it costs personally, regardless of personal price. It's for those dying to live their creed, religion, belief, not to be lip service to them, but no longer to be like all creeds, professing with their lips the golden rule and professing with their lives that the gold rules. Academics, liberals, intellectuals, it's for you if you're the 0.00001% that live, quote, I know and courageously act, therefore I am. Redundancy. This tool of about 95 characteristics is slightly longer than what's been my personal trainer these last 10 months. That has massively accelerated my growth for this current mission, the Death Fast at the Canadian Embassy. Of course, it has occurred to me to shorten that list, and redundancies just glare out begging to be cut. But no. A weightlifter needs reps to grow, and so do I. So do you. As a college swim team captain, I really didn't like swimming repetitive laps, but growth required it. The reps from this trainer I rejoice in. But be that as it may, no reps, no growth. Simple. Also, the Eskimos have 20 words for snow. To Southerners, the snows all look the same. The different snow types. But not to Eskimos, the experts, the authorities, and in this case, the potent activists in history. The voice of these essays, the titles in particular. These essays began as video logs, and these transcriptions, essays, are the author's sharing of what a lifetime of study has taught him and what incorporation of them has made of him. So the voice of most essays is what? Second person? But the voice of the titles is first person, I. There are two reasons for this. This is a personal trainer, a waste of time for everyone except those that are greedily dying to become what the world needs them to be. And by using the first person, it facilitates what I've done first, working these great characteristics of these greatest of insanely humane, unviolent warriors into my bone marrow. Second, in truth, it brings the great characteristics of these greatest of humans just a little bit closer, nearer, more accessible to us now. This book was written not for you, but for the author, Loving. As noted in the companion book to this one, Global Warming's Death Fast, it too was not written for you, just as all the great books I value were not written for me, but were written by the author to share what was inside them, just as it is, warts and all, so that others might derive value from what they first had and found valuable in their own lives. Also, as your brother, if something, and all I control is me, if something doesn't massively accelerate the resurrection of insane humanity among us, among we uber-influential Americans, well, Gaia is going to war on the next 2,000 generations as a deadly infection, the cancer we've been, especially in recent decades. Those 2,000 generations are me, my body, my family. I need help to save them. Is it you? Notice, this book was written in the 4th to 7th weeks of Death Fast, primarily, in front of the Canadian Embassy in D.C. The author is satisfied with the content, the ideas, the usefulness. However, it will never make it to final, polished form, despite the help of one or two friends, as time will not allow. If this is a problem for you, This is not a book for you. I'm at war for humanity. If you are too, you'll ignore the deficiencies. If not, this just isn't for you. Companion book, Global Warming's Death, Fast. Till enough are seen dying for it, global warming won't stop. This first book was written along with Resurrecting the Insanely Humane, Unviolent Warrior in You, a personal trainer. However, enough material developed that it presented itself as appropriate for a different book. Further reference material, crucial. Exhaustive online library for the leading books, movies, documentaries on unviolent warfare and environmental Armageddon are at the blog Start Loving, and if you Google those two words, Start Loving, the first blog that comes up, the first website that comes up, is the blog I've created by that name, and one of the tabs is Library. Well over 100 entries of the finest material that's been created. Further reference material, Start Loving blog. I was called since a little child to understand, master, and teach, live, the central truths of life, psychology, the human condition, Christ Jesus, and most centrally, the joyful life. Everything I am, everything I've learned, everything I've used to climb out of the matrix, back to the heaven on earth, back to life, to the joy that we were all born for, designed for, is here on this blog. If soon you don't know all that I know, it is because you just don't care, don't have anyone that you love enough to apply yourself. I've done my part with this blog. If there's anyone you love now, do your part, study it. What took me a lifetime to master, you can absorb in months if you apply yourself to it now. Tracking Plan B blog. Google Tracking Plan B. That's the letter B. Now, if you say to tomorrow's young, oh, I didn't know. I thought it was unstoppable. I thought we had more time. I thought it would wreck our economy. I thought we didn't have the technology. I thought it was all lies. It will be you that is the liar. At this blog, Tracking Plan B, is all the mainstream, sorry conspiracy theorists, Alex Jones fans, faux news fans, Koch Industries, oil, coal, shill fans. At this Tracking Plan B blog is all the mainstream science, technology, economics, roadmap away from hell, all there. And final resources, several YouTube channels, all one word, Start Loving 4, the numeral 4, Start Loving 6, the numeral 6, Plan B movie. Dedication. This book is to the exceptions to the rule that we've seen no true potent activism, no inchy warriors these last 40 years. There are exceptions, and they demonstrate the rule that few have been seen in 40 years. This book is dedicated to those despite all odds kept the flame alive. Diane Wilson, Colonel Ann Wright, some associated with the Palestine Freedom Flotilla, Brian Wilson, Daniel McGowan, Dr. David Schindler, Tim DeChristopher, Thomas, the founder of the White House Peace Vigil, Sea Shepherds, Lizzie Hurricane, Wael Ghonim, Aung San Suu Kyi, Rachel Corrie, and many others by number that share my horror at how infinitesimal is the percentage of such true, potent, insanely humane Inchi warriors, and how massively inadequate to the challenges that dwarf any in human history, soon to be too far advanced to stop. Inspiration and hope. With such joy, I share this book with my friends and family at Occupy DC and Santa Cruz. Were it not for your support, this book could not have been written this 4th through 7th week of Death Fast at the Canadian Embassy in DC. I simply would not have had the physical strength, the hydration, or the electrons for my computers out here by the street 24/7 to do it. And I'd not have had the hope it might do any good. But in you, these last 5 months or so, I've seen the first faint glimmerings of hope. Yes? In all these years now that I've been fighting for humanity here in DC. You have far to go if you are to have a world, country, and future worth living. But you've shown, most notably Brian and Hope, but many others too, Louise, Jesse, Johnny, John, Sam, a courage, a basic humanity, a yearning for results, a courage and a tenacity to unviolently fight, to pay the price. A desire for more than just the Activist Club membership. You've shown what I've prayed to see, ached to see, and devoted myself to being ready to serve, were it ever to emerge. This book is the fruit of that long, oh so lonely devotion in waiting. May you all be who we've been waiting for, because there isn't anyone else, and we are out of time. If not you, who? If not here, where? If not now, when? Become what the world needs to be. Hurry. Find the guts to use this personal trainer daily, several times a day, as I do. Use it to push yourselves mercilessly, decades in weeks. You don't have longer than that. You won't break. You can do it. Do it now, not tomorrow. Now. And those of you who with courage, guts, determination, discipline, those of you that do, well, you might then have just a prayer. You might just give the next 200 billion people, the next 2,000 generations, a prayer.